There is a kind of tiredness that does not feel like sleepiness. It feels like your whole system is standing in front of one tiny task and refusing to move. You sit at the desk. The cup is still there. Your phone buzzes once, and even that small sound feels like someone added weight to your chest. You open the message, read it, close it, then open it again because answering now feels impossible. Not hard. Impossible. You tell yourself to get up. Your hand moves to the edge of the chair. Then nothing happens. Your body stays heavy, while your brain starts calling you lazy in a voice that sounds way too familiar. The worst part is that you still care. You care about the work, you care about the people waiting, but caring does not turn the engine back on. It is like pressing the gas in a car with an empty tank. The pedal moves. Maybe the noise is there, but nothing real happens. So as if this is laziness, why does it feel less like avoiding life and more like being emotionally out of fuel? Today we're going to break down what happens when exhaustion lives underneath motivation, why discipline advice misses the point, and how to work with the shutdown without turning it into another reason to hate yourself. Welcome back. Let's get started. The mistake people make is assuming laziness means no effort. But emotional exhaustion can look identical from the outside. You reply slower. You avoid basic tasks. You sit there while normal life keeps moving around you. Laziness has some comfort in it. You skip the task and feel a little relief. Emotional exhaustion does not. You avoid the task, then sit in the guilt of avoiding it. You scroll, but you are not relaxed. You lie down, but your jaw is still tight. That is not rest. Your nervous system is not asking what would be fun. It is asking what costs the least. When everything feels expensive, even small things get rejected. So your system protects the last bit of energy by saying no to almost everything. The problem is that it does not announce this clearly. It just removes your ability to start. You stare at the laundry. You are not confused by socks. That tiny failed action matters. If you were simply lazy, the task would feel boring. When you are emotionally exhausted, the task feels loaded. It carries every unfinished thing behind it. Now, the task has a hidden emotional price. This is why just do it can land so badly. It treats the task as if it is only physical. Move the body, click the button, send the message. But your system is responding to the unfinished history, the shame and the memory of pushing through last time and paying for it later. You answer messages in panic. For hours, motivation seems back. Then your head feels stuffed. Your skin feels too tight. Your eyes burn from the screen. You promise tomorrow will be different, then wake up with the same heaviness sitting in your ribs. That cycle trains you to distrust effort because effort has started to mean pain later. This is the deeper part. You are not only tired from doing too much, you may also be tired from bracing before everything. Before the call, you rehearse. During the call, you monitor your tone. Afterward, you replay one sentence. Someone replies, "Okay," and your brain opens a tiny courtroom. But to your nervous system, this is prevention. At some point, scanning probably helped. Maybe you had to read moods early. Maybe mistakes were punished. Maybe asking for help cost too much. So your mind learned to stay ahead of pain. By the time you need to do something, you have already spent hours internally predicting reactions, managing impressions, preparing explanations, fighting guilt, and acting fine. You do not know how to explain that you have been starting all day, just not in a way anyone can see. You are not lazy because you need recovery. You are emotionally exhausted when recovery no longer feels safe, clean, or allowed. Rest should refill you. But when you are carrying shame, rest feels like evidence against you. You lie down and immediately defend why you are lying down. You take a break and monitor whether you deserve it. So the break never becomes a break. That is why screaming at yourself until you move is not a solution. It may create motion, but it teaches your system that life only happens under threat. You need a different signal. Start by shrinking the emotional price of the task. Not the whole life, not the whole identity. Just the next visible action. Do not say, "I need to fix my inbox." Say, "I will read one subject line." Do not say, "I need to get my life together." Say, I will put the plate in the sink. Small movement proves the room is not an attack. Then, separate guilt from information. Guilt may report that something is unfinished. Fine. But it does not get to manage your pace. It either freezes you or makes you sprint until you collapse. You also need recovery that does not pretend to be productivity. Not optimizing. Not planning your comeback. A walk where nothing is tracked. A shower where you are not rehearsing an apology. Food eaten without turning it into a moral report. Because emotionally exhausted people often treat softness like a trap. If they stop pushing, they fear they will never return. But pressure is not the only thing that brings you back. Safety can bring you back too. You are allowed to build momentum gently. One honest task, one clean no. One message that does not need 3 versions in your head. One night where you stop punishing the current version of yourself long enough to breathe. This is not laziness. Laziness says, I do not care. Emotional exhaustion says, I care, but I have been carrying too much for too long, and now even caring hurts. You do not need to hate the part of you that shuts down. It is not trying to ruin your life. It is trying to stop the bleeding with the tools it learned. Give it better tools? Less threat, smaller starts, real rest, clearer boundaries, fewer invisible performances. You are not lazy because you cannot force an empty system to act full. You may be a tired person who learned to survive by pushing past the warning light, and now your body is finally refusing to keep driving like nothing is wrong. If you want more uncomfortable but useful truths about your mind explained clearly, subscribe.